This show is a lot of tears, a lot of laughter, and a very special woman on this week's episode of The Animal Rescuers.
The Animal Rescuers has been adopted by Pet Planet. There is nothing more important to us than your pet's health.
Why don't we start off by telling me how you got involved in animal rescue?
Well, I got involved with animal rescue because my mom had passed away, and my mom really loved animals, and I couldn't get out of bed for about 2 weeks after she passed, and I was devastated. There was just a big, huge hole left in my heart. And, you know, I tried.
It's okay.
I tried pretty much everything. Mm-hmm. And I met a group of animal rescue people, and that helped. So that's how I got my start.
Well, then I can definitely see the passion. And animals do feel such a hole. They would fill that hole. I'm
Absolutely.
So sorry.
Sorry. It's okay. It's getting better.
But the point is what you're doing is absolutely amazing. You have how many dogs here in your home right now?
Probably more than I should, but I have 10.
And they're all, well, some of them are yours though, right?
I have 2 that are my personals, and then I have 8 that are basically fosters.
Okay, and they're all up for adoption, and I understand that they all have an incredible story, which we'll get into, but so where do you find these animals, and what's the process to get them here?
Most of the time I'll take them out of a shelter. I'll go down to the East Shelter mainly. I have a really good relationship with the director there, and so she'll call me if she has a dog, for instance, that she absolutely loves and it's coming up for euthanasia. She'll call me and say, you know, this dog has a lot of value and I would love it if you would come and take it out. And I almost always try to honor the people down there because they work so hard. And they are so dedicated to these dogs, and some of them will be put down, but I try to do as much as I can to save the ones that are really, you know, kind of left behind because they don't have that good look, or they're a Chihuahua, or they're, you know, a really laid-back pit bull that looks really scary but is actually very sweet.
You're a very unique rescue because you actually go to a shelter, but you do rescue from the street also?
Yeah, not very often. Sometimes, like when I first started, I would go to Craigslist and I would see that people had dogs that they really didn't want to put into the shelter system, and I would get in touch with them, and I have saved a lot of dogs that way too, where I'll go to their home and take their dogs and get them adopted out.
Are you an individual rescuer? Do you belong to a group, or how does that work?
I'm with my rescue is called Follow Your Heart, and I do have backing by Feathers Foundation. They allow me to get into the PetSmart locations, which really help, you know, with adoptions. So I do fall under them, and I try to follow their guidelines.
When was the first time that you went to the rescue, and like what was going through your head? I'm just going to take this animal. Was it for you, or was it to rescue?
Oh no, never for me. It definitely was always to rescue. The first dog I got, I actually rescued for another group, and it was a sweet dog. It was at Apache Junction, and one of the rescue people had fallen in love with it and begged me to take it. So I went in there and I got it out and I brought it home, and quickly found out it had cancer. So it had what's called transmissible venereal tumor, which I didn't realize I could transmit to every single one of my dogs. So, you know, I just prayed to God that it didn't happen, and I actually went and got that dog out, took it to my vet. My vet diagnosed it. The treatment for that is about $3,000. my vet only was charging me $700 to treat it. In order to raise the $700 to treat it, I dressed the dog up all in pink, and I put a pink diaper on it, and I put a $5 bill in the pink diaper, and I walked it everywhere I could possibly walk it. Before I knew it, people were putting money in its diaper, like a stripper dog, but not really. And I managed to raise the $800 to treat her.
Your story with the diaper just gave me a great idea for our producer to raise money for the show. What do you think?
The producer's gonna wear a diaper. Oh, I think he'd look mighty cute in a diaper.
And then I'll just put a leash on him and walk him
around. That is a really good idea.
Do you want to go with me?
I think so. It's, you know what? Hey, I think we'd make a fortune.
So you have 10 animals in the home right now, and one of them is this beautiful, beautiful little puppy.
Oh yeah.
But this isn't the only little puppy here. Tell the audience what the story is behind this one.
Well, actually, there was a litter of 13, and they were found out in the desert. And the shelter manager for East called me and said, you know, basically she had 13 of them, all ranging all different sizes, ages. It was unreal. There was like a little teeny tiny black one, like a pound and a half, all the way up to a huge one, which is underneath over there laying down sleeping. And you know, they were all like, when I got there, they were in a puppy pyramid with their noses all faced into the cell. And she said that they were feral. They had, you know, done some growling and etc. And she just wanted them out, and I knew, you know, why she wanted them out. So of course, you know, I took them out, and I actually was able to give 3 to another rescue, brand new rescue, to help them get started. Puppies go faster, helps them finance some of their medical needs and stuff. And then I took 10, and so far I've been able to adopt out 7 of the 10, and as you can see, they're not feral at all.
Oh,
they are actually
goodness.
very, very precious.
Not at all.
Yeah, it just took a couple of days and some good food, and I mean, food wins them over faster than anything else. You know, give them some peanut butter and they are happy, or cheese. Oh my gosh, you're their best friend.
You shared with me a story that brought you 400 comments. Can you go into that a little bit?
Hope, I saw her on a Facebook page, and she was lying on the, you know, the cell floor, and she couldn't move. She couldn't stand up. Every bone in her body was showing. There were 400 comments on her about how she was suffering, how she needed to get out, and I waited a little bit just to kind of see what would happen if anybody would go get her, and nobody went and got her, and I just cried. I mean, you know, it just...
And why do you think that is? I mean, 400 comments, come on, somebody out there, please do something. Is there a reasoning behind that? In your opinion, what do you think?
I don't know. I wish I knew. I wish I knew, because it's not that hard.
I'm going to ask the question like I always do, how can we help? But please let me say something. I understand you did mention you have a $4,000 vet bill. It's working up to $5,000. That's awfully high. I'm hoping that somebody out there hears that and comes to your rescue, because
sweet.
I don't know how you do it. But other than helping you with that tremendous bill, what else can we do to help you?
How can you help? Well, how can the world help? You know, honestly, I would have to say it's not really about helping me, because I have great faith that no matter what I do, it's okay. But you have to help them. It's, you know, it's about people getting on the ground and going into the shelters and seeing how many dogs are actually in there and trying to pull them out. And, you know, it's tough, but you can do it.
Do you trust the food you feed? At Pet Planet, our commitment is to helping our customers navigate through the confusing world of pet food, reading ingredient panels, asking critical questions about manufacturing and ingredient quality. Our pets rely on us to make the very best decisions we can for their health, happiness, and longevity. Pet Planet is here as your partner in pet health, because there's nothing more important to us than your pet's health.
You can be a part of the animal rescuers also. making a difference for the animals, and bringing your business to center stage. Become a sponsor for the show. Ad rates are very low for the summer, so now is the time to jump on board. And you can be an animal rescuer too. Make the call.
Welcome back to the Animal Rescuers, adopted by Pet Planet.
So we have a lot to cover because there's how many dogs? I think there's more than 10. Are there more than 10?
No, I think there's only 10.
Okay. Well, let's start with these little beauties right under here.
So these are the 3, well, there was actually the 13 of them found in the desert. And these are 3 of the 13. And there's Gigantico over there to the right. He's a boy, he's very sweet. Then there's the other one that looks like a kangaroo. And the little tiny one that you were holding earlier is definitely looks like a golden to me. Okay, this is the husky that was actually at East. And this one was listed as animal aggressive, but anything but animal aggressive. Loves puppies, loves people.
My dogs don't behave like that.
Well, you know, I have a really good pack here. So
You do?
Yeah, they're really good. They teach each other, you know, sort of how to behave. Okay, well, here's Rusty, and I think we already featured him on Pet of the Week. Rusty was in East as well, and he was in a cell, and he was a second chance dog. He was taken out of the cell, and he army crawled and peed the entire time down the hallway. He was scared to death, wouldn't stand up. I've had him for about a little over a month, and he's definitely very, very, very adoptable now.
We already talked about Hope.
Yes.
And Hope's going to be very vocal right now.
Yeah, which is amazing for Hope, because usually Hope didn't even have the strength to bark. When I got her out, she was definitely, I thought I was just taking her to be humanely euthanized, so I drove her through McDonald's and got her a hamburger and took her to my vet and held her in a blanket, and I believed she was going to be euthanized, and then all of a sudden he told me he's seen worse, and we got her on some treatment for valley fever, and she has really turned around, and she is just doing quite well. Not quite ready for adoption yet, but maybe another month, and I think I'll put her up for adoption. This sweet baby, that was the one. It's a boxer mix, and her name is Daisy. She's about 6 months old, and she was actually up for euthanasia because she had an upper respiratory infection, which happens quite often in the shelter, of course. And this one is really, really, really super playful and would be great for a home with kids for sure. The one thing that I would say to probably any rescue out there or person out there is that, you know, I named my rescue Follow Your Heart. And I named my rescue Follow Your Heart because you have to follow your heart. If you know, you want to go with money a lot of times, but in the end, it really is doing the right thing as a human being.
The first Pet Planet store opened in 1996 after the devastating loss of our Cocker Spaniel to cancer. What we learned then about pet health was eye-opening. The food and the treats that we were giving him did not support his immune system and may have actually harmed him. Pet Planet was established to be a community resource, a store that offers only the healthiest products and the best knowledge on pet health issues. At Pet Planet, there is nothing more important to us than your pet's health.
You can be a part of the Animal Rescuers also, making a difference for the animals and bringing your business to center stage. Become a sponsor for the show. Ad rates are very low for the summer, so now is the time to jump on board. And you can be an animal rescuer too. Make the call.
Welcome back to the Animal Rescuers, adopted by Pet Planet. Many of the dogs you have seen on this show are ready for adoption. Contact Follow Your Heart today and take home a forever friend.
Hi, my name is Krista
Krista Gibson, and I'm the veterinarian, and today we're going to At the Vet. We're going to talk a little bit today about vaccinations, because I think that's something that a lot of people don't really understand how necessary and how helpful vaccinations are to keeping your pets healthy and living longer. Some of the things that we need to make sure we get done is that puppies, just like children, need to have a series of vaccinations. We like to start about 6 to 8 weeks and vaccinate them once every 3 to 4 weeks till they're about 4 to 6 months old. Then they can get their spay and neuter, and then they get vaccinated about once a year every year after that. Kittens are very similar. We like to start 6 and 8 weeks, do them about once every 3 to 4 weeks, usually for only 3 vaccines. One of the questions people ask me all the time is, what vaccination should my dog or cat get? Well, I'll tell you. First of all, we should all have our dogs vaccinated for distemper and parvo. Those are 2 diseases that are potentially fatal in dogs and that are carried by canid populations, and they're common in the environment. So if you're going anywhere, even if your dog isn't, they're still potentially exposed to these potentially deadly diseases. The good news is that most of our vaccinations for distemper, parvo, and most everything else are almost 100% effective. So despite the fact that these diseases are potentially fatal, they're also almost 100% preventable. Rabies is a vaccination that the law requires all of our dogs have. Cats are not required to have it, but we certainly recommend it for them as well. We're starting to see, for the first time in decades, rabies is coming back into the United States, and people are having to go through the rabies vaccination series. So not only for your pet's protection, but also for your protection, it's really important that they be vaccinated for rabies. The AVMA has set up a core vaccination recommendation system for dogs and cats, and that includes distemper, parvo, rabies, and in cats, rabies and distemper. There are some other vaccinations that, depending on your region, depending on your lifestyle, may or may not be necessary. And the best way to determine that is to ask your veterinarian. Tell them what you do with your dog or cat, where you go, how you guys have fun together, and then they can help you decide which vaccinations are important. Here at Animal Medical Services, we recommend all of our dogs be vaccinated for Bordetella, also known as kennel cough, and that pretty much is for any dog that goes anywhere other than the house. The other vaccination that's really interesting that we have locally here in Phoenix is a rattlesnake vaccine. And this is one that, if it's an adult dog, or even a puppy really, we can vaccinate them once, then again a month later, and then once a year after that, and that helps really protect these guys against rattlesnake venom. It doesn't totally counteract the rattlesnake venom, but what it does do is it buys you a lot more time to get to the veterinarian so that you can get that emergency service that you need, and that also lowers the need for the antivenin. And if you've ever had to deal with a rattlesnake bite, you know that the antivenin is very expensive. Join us next time and learn more about pet health and safety tips. I'm Dr. Krista Gibson, and this is At the Vet.
Do you trust the food you feed? At Pet Planet, our commitment is to helping our customers navigate through the confusing world of pet food, reading ingredient panels, asking critical questions about manufacturing and ingredient quality. Our pets rely on us to make the very best decisions we can for their health, happiness, and longevity. Pet Planet is here as your partner in pet health, because there's nothing more important to us than your pet's health.
The women we love, the women who love us, they are dying. Heart disease is our #1 killer, taking more lives than all forms of cancer combined. But we have the power to save those lives, our lives, because the greatest force for women is women. It's time to stand together, to fight harder, to shout louder. It's time to go red for women.
Hi, I'm Jen, and this is your Pet Planet Pet Tip of the Week. This week, we're going to focus on water safety. Whether you're taking your dog paddling in a canoe or out boating on the lake, please make sure you consider wearing a life jacket. Don't assume that your dog can swim, and in fact, even if your dog can swim, a lot of dogs are not strong swimmers. Consider this: if your pet were to fall overboard, would they have enough endurance and strength to avoid exhaustion or even hypothermia if they fall into very cold water? Fast currents can be stronger than his strength to outswim them. The distance to the shore may be further than he can swim. He may become disoriented and actually not even swim towards shore. A dog jumps from or is thrown from a boat at high speeds can be injured when they impact the water. There are many different types of life jackets on the market today. Canine Friendly is probably Pet Planet's favorite. Reason being, they are a bright orange color so they're easily seen in the water. This life jacket has adjustable clips at both the neck and the chest to make an easy fit for your pet. They also have a comfort grip off the top, so if you're having to reach into the water to grab you and lift your dog out of the water, it makes it a lot easier on you. You can also use these as a temporary harness when you're going from the car to the boat. There's a D-ring clip here for leash attachment. If your home has a pool in the backyard, this too poses very serious potential safety risks. Pool safety for pets is as synonymous as it is for children, and it goes far beyond just careful supervision. With pets and children, you should never assume that you can watch them all the time. It only takes a few seconds of distraction for either one to fly out the door and into the pool. Here are just a few of the issues you should consider. Dogs are just as much at risk for pool accidents as children are. Not all dogs have the ability to swim. Certain breeds, as well as handicapped and older pets, may have special difficulties. Keep the pool area fenced and secure. Purchase pet pool safety products that can help your pets get safely out of the water. These could include things such as ramps, again life jackets, and pool alarms. Pools are not the only danger. Ponds and hot tubs can also have the same fatal effects. Most importantly, never leave your pets unsupervised near open water, as accidents, they can happen in just a split second. One final consideration is after swimming pet care. Dogs that swim a lot are prone to what's called swimmer's ear, which is an infection that occurs when you leave the ears wet after swimming. The prevention is simple. After your dog goes for a swim, be sure to clean their ears thoroughly using an ear cleaner that's specifically designed for pets, and then make sure that you dry them thoroughly. Stay tuned next week for another Pet Planet pet tip. More of the Animal Rescuers coming right up.
You can be a part of the Animal Rescuers also, making a difference for the animals and bringing your business to center stage. Become a sponsor for the show. Ad rates are very low for the summer, so now is the time to jump on board. And you can be an animal rescuer too. Make the call.
Welcome back to the Animal Rescuers, adopted by Pet Planet.
This week we head over to Villa La Paz, where the Arizona Golden Retriever Connection held a meet and greet event. There was much more with the opportunity for the fur kids to try their hands at the agility course. Some really took to it. And some others, well, not so much. Thank you so much for having us. You were incredible. Lots of laughs, and I'll remember you always.
Oh, good.
And as we close the show, one of the things I learned from Debbie is we are the second or third state in the nation with the highest euthanasia rate. That needs to change. This is Kimberly reminding you, adopt, donate, volunteer, spay and neuter, and help me put Cory in a diaper. And you can be an animal rescuer too. We'll see you next time.
What? I like doggy style. Ooh, that would be really hard. That would be really bad.
Go ahead.
Thanks for the outfit. Actually, I was recording what you just said.
Thank you again so much.
Okay, try again. That's the pain. That's the pain. Okay, we'll just pretend that didn't happen. Okay.